Hey guys, Crafty1 here, and today we got an announcement for a Splatoon spin-off game. And if you're wondering why I look like a mess, it's because it is super early morning, and that's when this came out. Wow, the perks of being a YouTuber. So today, we're gonna go through the trailer, and I will share my predictions on what this game might be. We're also going to look at the Twitter because there's a bunch of information on there as well that I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about. Let's get into it. In the beginning of this trailer, we have Deep Cut basically explaining that they're searching for treasure because they are pirates, treasure hunters in this new area. It's called Spiral Light Islands. While looking at the gold light, a massive tornado twister spiral takes them in. After the main introduction, we get the introduction to the main game, and it is crazy. We actually have no confirmed gameplay, but we do know there's a ship, there's islands, and there's a mechanic. So at the beginning of the showing, we see the introduction to the main base of operations, it being like a raft style ship that is definitely just scrounged up in parts. We get the introduction to Deep Cut's new design. We have confirmation of Splatoon movement still in this game. It being a spin-off, this is good to see almost, because I'd almost be worried that they'd shake it up a little too much. But at least we know, inking and squid forms are all still in the game, and the movement's gonna be similar. We got our introduction to, I assume, what it's gonna be our protagonist. Like this is gonna be us. This person is a mechanic, by the way. In the Twitter for Splatoon, they mention that this is their mechanic. I'm saying there because I'm pretty sure we could change, their look, the style, the gender, stuff like that. And you can definitely see with like the bottles, the funnels, and everything else attached to them. Definitely very crafty, very crafty. Shiver is seen with a fishing rod in every single artwork, and then honestly in the trailers as well. So I'm pretty sure this is actually a pretty staple mechanic in the game. I don't know what fishing will do, if she's fishing up enemies or something, but yeah, it is quite interesting to see fishing in Splatoon because they are aquatic animals technically. Some more gameplay. We have, I don't know, a robot that is traveling around with you. We actually get a better look on Twitter, and we'll get into those images too. The name of the game, I don't even think I've said it yet. Splatoon Raiders. I love it. It definitely gives me Splatoon 3 energy, if that makes sense, with the overall design, the artwork, and of course at the end we get a little tease of a massive eyeball. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a squid or something. But the character that we're playing as, the mechanic, is this person, the pilot that was in the helicopter before. That makes the most sense. Second prediction. This game is 100% a base builder. It is a open world base building survival game. If you think about it, island, mechanic, it just screams base building. And just look at this ship. And it is confirmed that the Spiral Light Islands, there are multiple islands. So I think we'll be going from like island to island, collecting parts to upgrade the ship, to go to the next island, and so on and so forth. My dream for this game is that this is a horde survival game where you like collect materials, build up your base, and fight off hordes in the spiral or something, because that seems so cool. When it comes to Shiver, Big Man, and Frye, their designs, chef's kiss. They look beautiful. Big Man changed his color a little bit, but again, going back with Shiver and her fishing rod, it definitely seems like it's a core aspect of the reason why she's on the ship, as well as, Big Man in swimming gear. I think Big Man is the only one that can actually swim, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be sticking to the lore when it comes to, Inklings not being able to go into the water. Nothing really screams out to me in Frye. I know there was a clip right here where you are with Frye, but it doesn't really tell us anything. There's a little bit of visual storytelling. We have the robot, the robot that you're hanging out with. She has like this very steel kind of shin pad that kind of tells me she might be handling upgrading that. It looks like we'll be able to upgrade it a lot because it seems modular is what I'm saying. Photos of it on Twitter, and also we got this one that looks a little bit different. So it does seem modular. This is something that we could change, and it does follow you around, which I think is super interesting. I think this is like the only gameplay that we get in this whole thing, which is walking around this kind of deserted island. And I definitely think that this island is a tutorial island. You basically kind of like, you find this, the ship, I guess. I don't even know if I'd call this a ship. I don't even, this is like, it's like what you'd find in Raft. But looking closer at the ship itself, you have like a crafting station right over here. And then, of course, you have Big Man's section right up top here. That's where we saw Big Man and the maps and everything that he was behind. And I'm pretty sure this is where like Shiver might be staying. We did see her like on a seat on like the outside deck fishing. But yeah, when it comes to Big Man, he has like all of this scuba gear, explorer gear. So I think he might be helping out with any sort of like resource collecting. On this screen, you could see in the back that there's multiple islands. And that makes sense because they said, what, Spiralite Islands with an S. So we would be hopping like in between them. Oh, I am so excited for this game. Let's go into the Twitter. And I'm not going to be talking about the Splatoon 3 10.0 update. It's probably for another video. Alongside the release of the trailer, they also posted a bunch of stuff on Twitter saying the first Splatoon series spin-off is coming. #Splatoon Raiders. It will center around a mechanic adventuring with a deep cut to mysterious Spiralite Islands. We'll keep you updated as we can go further research. And then it says, did you see Deep's new design? And then we've identified a variety of interesting findings, including a floating ship that serves as the mechanic space and an island with a unique atmosphere. Going into it, we got the logo, pretty sick. Reminds me a lot of Splatoon 3. And I was actually having a conversation with my brother, who is massively into Splatoon 3, almost more than I am. And we were talking about the development cycle. And I actually have a video coming out soon talking about the holiday games for this year, and I had to scrap it, so I'm redoing it with this new information of Splatoon Raiders. How long has this been in development is the real question, because at the end of the development cycle for Splatoon 3, my brother thinks they immediately started on Raiders. Like, they split the team in half. They started on Raiders, and then the other team was working on the DLC, which makes sense because that's what they did with Splatoon 2. So I'm pretty sure this is still the core Splatoon team, which means we will be probably getting a Splatoon game, Splatoon 4, in like 2027 at the earliest. Pretty good, if that makes sense, because this has been in development for about, what, 2 years? 2 to 3 years. It's after support of Splatoon 3, maybe even longer than that. But this definitely seems like it's made by the core team. We got some more screenshots. Big Man, Shiver, and Frye. And this is what I'm talking about. Why Shiver always has her fishing rod. Big Man's always in some sort of exploration gear. And Frye's just chilling. We get a better look at the mechanic. I mean, this is all shown inside the trailer. But I love the idea of, a makeshift kind of weapon. I love the idea of like this makeshift style weapons. And I'm going to be doing a discussion video. If this is a survival game like I am thinking, I could totally see craftable weapons being a thing. In a survival game, your weapons are going to break. So I could totally see you having to collect like trash on the floor and then upgrade your weapon and weapon type via that way. So instead of a soda bottle or like a 2-liter bottle, it could be like, I don't know, a bucket for a slosher. Oh my God. They also pointed out the ink tank, which they only show in the trailer. So let me pull it up. I don't know why they pointed it out. It's a chunky ink tank. It is, what is this, a pot? Yeah, and then they also have the fan and a pan on the other side. Maybe some sort of sub ability and special ability, or that's exactly what it is. It's probably inkjet, and you could probably craft different special abilities. I do find it interesting that they're basically saying that she is, or they are, a mechanic. I only find it interesting because, I mean, using the word mechanic just brings crafting, kind of style of gameplay, and they didn't really tell us what kind of gameplay, if this was single player or multiplayer. I do think this is going to be a primarily single player focused game with multiplayer elements, but we will honestly have to see. If this is a horde style base builder, I think that would be super fun as multiplayer. I could totally see like salmonoids, and the eyeball at the end of the trailer definitely seemed like some sort of salmonoid. It could be anything. It's an eyeball, okay? But the overall design of the mechanic looks very crafty, very grabbing random things and putting it together. I think that's a cool thing. We get some artwork for the new designs for Deep Cut, looking very, very slick. And then we get some better screenshots of the actual ship and the base and everything like that. I know with like YouTube compression, it's kind of hard to zoom in, but this is a clearer image. This is where I think like there's a lot of crafting going on right here. And this is an actual ship too. So I definitely think you would be going from like island to island collecting resources, and then sometimes there's going to be a gate because you need to upgrade your ship or figure out or find an upgrade for that. I was thinking like the way the progression would work is there's going to be goals you need to reach. Oh, you need to collect 50 plates or 50 bottles, and then you need to find like 2 milk jugs. And guess what? The milk jugs is hoarded by us, like the boss monster. So then you have to fight it, and you have to of course craft materials to then beat the boss. Detailed photo of the environment, which honestly, it looks crazy. It looks so good, and this game is confirmed to be only for the Nintendo Switch 2. So this is 100% an open world game, and you can definitely see that with the poly count on Shiver and Frye. The light diffusion on Frye's forehead is so much better. Looking at this, I would definitely think this would be the tutorial island, assuming you can't walk over to like in the water. They put you on this island. They're like, you got to collect these materials so then you can move to a different spot. The one big secret that I have no idea what this could be about is this robot looking thing. This sprayer cannon thing was not in the trailer, so I think, this is definitely customizable. It's upgradable. I think this will allow you to walk over gaps, this little part on the left side. It's deep enough where an inkling can't go in, but shallow enough for this kind of machine to go in. And it is shown to follow around you. So I definitely think it could maybe store items and help you reach places in the open world. But there is some places that you cannot cross, like, the bigger distance in islands that you have to take your ship towards, where, of course, you'll take both of these and you'll land on there. It is interesting. It is very, very interesting. Again, I really do think and really hope the gameplay loop is a survival style game. More specifically, a multiplayer horde survival would be awesome, where you have to collect materials, build your defenses in your base, and then when the spiral, the twister comes in, you have to survive your horde, survive all the enemies, and then the twister takes all the stuff that you kind of built and then resets you, and you got to restart building up your defenses. Another question that I'm posing about this is, I don't know when this is coming out. I'll go into more detail when I talk about the holiday titles for Nintendo Switch 2, because there is a possibility we should be getting one more game that we do not know of. And just the way that this was announced was super weird. Splatoon games normally come out in the summer to spring, so having it be a holiday title doesn't really make any sense, especially because it's island themed. They didn't give us a window either. Of course, they'll probably say that toward the Nintendo Direct whenever that happens. This game is exciting. Splatoon is finally going into spin-off territory, which is great. And it looks like it's made by the same core team that made Splatoon 3 and all the DLCs and everything like that. Does that mean we're not going to get Splatoon 4 for like another 3 years? No, because I do think this has been in development for at least 2 years already, like at the end or even before the end of development for Splatoon 3, meaning, the continuous updates, because it's probably just a small team handling the updates for Splatoon 3, and then a semi-medium team handling the DLC for Splatoon 3, and then the rest of the team went on to this right when Splatoon 3 ended. So they had quite a lot of time to make this. And then that kind of gives hope for Animal Crossing, but I'm getting into a whole nother video that I have coming out. But yeah, just to recap my hopes for this game, it's this kind of survival game that's semi-multiplayer, but mainly a solo experience. I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll be having a discussion video out sometime this week going over all of my thoughts on this in even more detail. So make sure you subscribe to get notified when that goes up. Anyways, I'm Crafty1. I'll see you guys later.